Your shell will be ready momentarily, and you will deploy to Tau Ceti 4 for your first assignment. Please prepare for consciousness transfer in 3, 2, 1. Initiate.
Every marathon player will face the same moment. Your inventory is full, and the extraction point is close. Your rational instinct tells you to leave, but you don't. And we all remember a time when that decision got us killed, causing us to lose everything. That moment isn't an accident. It's carefully engineered. Many of the systems within Marathon were designed to manufacture that moment, over and over again. And this engineering all starts with one rule. Every item that you carry into and find within a run will be permanently lost if you fail to extract safely. Your weapons, your cores, your valuables, all of it, gone. So if you die out there, it doesn't just cost you the match. It costs your whole investment, and that's painful. Because losing everything hurts twice as much as finding it felt good. That disproportionate pain has a name: loss aversion. Think about the last time you lost something valuable in Marathon. Not the frustration of losing a fight, the specific disproportionate sting of watching gear you'd earned disappear. Psychologists have known for decades that losses hurt roughly twice as much as equivalent gains feel good. Marathon builds its entire economy on top of that asymmetry. The pain you feel when a good weapon disappears isn't frustration. It's your brain registering a loss at twice the emotional weight of what gaining that weapon originally felt like. Bungie is charging you double on the way out. Watch someone play Marathon for the first time and you can see the moment it clicks. They start aggressive, the way any other shooter rewards. Then they find something good. A weapon they recognise. An implant they've been chasing. And something visibly shifts. They start taking the long way around, pulling back from fights that look slightly unfavourable, doing a calculation that has nothing to do with whether they can win, and everything to do with whether winning is worth what losing would cost. That's loss aversion, working exactly as designed, and it's only one of the things Marathon does to you. The UESC AI patrols are dangerous, but they're predictable. The thing that produces real paranoia is the other runners. Multiple squads operating independently on the same map, each running their own calculation, none of whom you can read. Bungie deliberately avoided aggression-based matchmaking, the system used by rival extraction shooters that separates aggressive players from passive ones, because sorting players by intent would kill the tension. You need to not know. And your brain, placed in that kind of sustained uncertainty, doesn't stay neutral. It shifts into a state of hypervigilance, where your threat detection system starts treating ambiguous information as dangerous by default. Suddenly, you're not just scanning for enemies, you're scanning for intent. A squad moving through the dire marsh 200 meters away triggers the same alarm response as a squad actively hunting you, because your brain, flooded with the stakes of what you're carrying, can't afford to tell the difference. Every sound becomes a footstep. Every doorway becomes a decision. So your brain's telling you the map is trying to kill you. And it's right. What it doesn't warn you about is yourself. Because despite all of that, the paranoia, the caution, the constant threat assessment, players consistently make the same mistake. They stay too long. The rational play, once your inventory is full of valuable gear, is to extract immediately. Players know this. They don't always do it. They push one more building, open one more container, run one more corridor. The reason why has a name in behavioural psychology: variable ratio reinforcement. It's the same schedule that makes slot machines so difficult to walk away from. When rewards are delivered after an unpredictable number of actions, the behaviour it produces is the most persistent and the most resistant to stopping of any reward structure ever studied. You can never identify the safe moment to quit, because the next action might be the one that pays off. Marathon's loot system is built on this logic. Most containers produce ordinary gear, but occasionally, unpredictably, one produces something exceptional. And because you can't know which one, leaving always carries the specific discomfort of potential abandonment. It turns out dopamine spikes not just on receiving a reward, but on anticipating one. And the anticipation is strongest precisely when the outcome is uncertain. Casinos discovered this. Social media platforms discovered this. And Marathon, whether or not Bungie ever said it out loud, is built on the same mechanism. The voice saying just one more building isn't a failure of discipline, it's a neurological response to an environment designed to produce it. The maps certainly amplify that voice. Outpost concentrates its best loot inside a structure Bungie's own developers call a meat grinder. It's a high security facility that completely towers over the rest of the map. Its tight corridors making escape almost impossible once a fight breaks out. There are different ways into the facility, but one of the main ones requires you to find clearance codes scattered throughout the map. And in most cases, when you gain access, the noise announces you to everyone. So leaving with what you found means surviving the people now actively moving towards you. The chaos that follows isn't a side effect of the design, it's the whole point. And if the maps show you how Marathon manufactures that chaos, Rook shows you what it eventually does to the people inside it. Rook drops in solo, mid-match, into a round already 10 minutes deep, a world other squads have already been fighting through. It carries a locked, preset loadout, no faction contracts, nothing from your vault. You're picking up whatever they left behind. That might sound like a recovery option, and the game has those. Any player can grab a free sponsored kit from the armory and drop back in. That's recovery. Rook is something different. It's a shell built around experiencing Marathon without stakes. Blending in with UESC forces, moving through spaces other runners have already fought through, taking what's left. The fact that Bungie built an entire shell around that specific experience is Marathon being honest about what the game eventually does to everyone. The loss aversion wears you down, the paranoia exhausts you, the compulsive push for one more container costs you everything often enough that eventually you need a way back in that carries no risk at all. Rook is that way back in. At some point, every runner ends up here. And if Rook is Marathon being honest about what happens to players at their lowest point, Cryo Archive is Marathon being honest about what it asks of them at their highest. Cryo Archive is Marathon's endgame zone, located aboard the UESC Marathon ship itself, hanging in orbit above Tau Ceti 4. There's so much valuable loot here that you aren't going to find it anywhere else. To access it, you need to be level 25, have connected with all 6 factions, and bring a loadout worth at least 5,000 credits. That last requirement is the most revealing. Bungie isn't just asking for your time or skill, they're asking you to put your best gear on the line before you even get through the door. The loss aversion that runs on every regular map is amplified here to its absolute ceiling. And if you die, which most players do, you go back to the other maps and build your vault until you can afford to try again. The psychological loop that runs through every regular run doesn't just apply to individual matches. Cryo Archive makes it the entire shape of the game. And just when you think you understand the shape of that loop, Marathon does something that most games would never have the nerve to try. Every 3 months, it takes everything away. Gear, levels, and seasonal upgrades wiped. What's psychologically interesting about this isn't the reset itself, it's what the reset is protecting. Loss aversion only works when there's something real to lose. Hypervigilance only kicks in when the stakes feel genuine. Variable rewards only pull you forward when finding something good actually means something. Over time, as inventories fill and advantages compound, those feelings quietly disappear, and when they go, the game goes with them. The seasonal wipe isn't punishment, it's Bungie forcing the psychological conditions that make Marathon feel the way it does back to the beginning. It's resetting not your gear, but your relationship with risk. Every new season, Tau Ceti 4 becomes dangerous again. Every new season, the voice comes back. That voice, the one saying, just one more building, isn't a sign that Marathon is fun, it's a sign that the design is working. 3 psychological mechanisms working in concert. Amplified by the maps, personalised by the shells, preserved by the seasonal structure. All of it converging on a single moment that every runner faces. You have enough to leave. You know you have enough to leave. And you stay anyway.